Hello crafty friends, this is Irene from Impressive Formations. I was working on a Memorial Day layout for a cookout that my son did, or my son did some ribs on Memorial Day, and I took a couple pictures, so I wanted to do a layout based on that, and I am using some of Anna Griffin's dies for this layout. So I am using her 3D barbecue scene dies. These from the Stars Align. I'm using this guy and I think this one. From the Easter egg dies, I am using her grass. And then from Starburst cut and emboss dies, I used this one, and then a circle punch for my son. So you'll see it come together. Anyways, so I'm starting off with this, and then this blue, I don't know, swirly cutout. I found this punch at the thrift store, right? $5.99. I figured I would try it. So if you turn both of these on, it does this. If you turn the punches off, I could have gotten a solid baby blue color here, but that's where that came from. Anyway, let's get started. So when I cut the grass, initially I was only going to do 1-page layout, but then I decided to make it 2-page layout. So for the first time, for the grass, I made sure not to cut, you know, like you, I cut a strip of green cardstock, but when I put the die, I made sure it hangs over, right, on the mat so it doesn't cut. That way I can bring the die cut again and it looks like a continuous grass piece. But for the second page I didn't do that. And then this little strip is from the excess here, right? It goes right here, for example. But I didn't want it to, I don't want to see the blue down here, right? So I'm going to actually use this piece to kind of fill in that blue gap that I see that I don't want in my layout. And since it's all, you know, jaggedy with the grass, you won't get to see it. So let me get some more of that. So here's another jaggedy piece. And I didn't put up tape on this one, but that's okay. We'll go up to about there. So we're gonna just fill in the green gap back here. And then I am going to flip this over and just trim this off. Okay. So this one I did put some of that adhesive, so this can just peel and stick. So we'll start with this corner here. And see how there's some jaggedy ends at the end, but because it's grass, it doesn't matter. And I am looking for this piece. I'm going to tape it here, so I guess I will only cut what I need so I can use it on the other layout. I'll peel this back and let's see how much of it I need. So we come down and we need about that much. So again, let's trim the excess. Okay. Okay, so I know I have my little bone folder here. Let's glue the grass down. Okay. All right, so that's it for the grass on this page. Here's the sunburst. Like I said, there's 2 of them. I think the circle punch, I probably should have used a smaller punch, but it doesn't matter. So for here, I am just gonna use one of my thinner foam tape. And we will put this guy in the corner over here. I don't want it to exceed past my layout there. And then here is the little barbecue. So my son has a smoker, actually, not one of these little red barbecue ones, but it's okay. And this one I need to glue down. So I just want a couple of the little wheels to look like it's behind the grass. So that's probably where I'll put it. For that stars aligned, so I cut 2 in the red background, and then the silver is obviously the stars. But then I kept that little piece in between them, and I kind of glued I taped them together with that little piece. But you don't really need that. Oh, so. And then this cookout is from, I cut it with my Cricut machine. So we will do this. Line this up, and then here's where my picture will be. Oh, that's right. And then I used the frames from, I think it's the latest Crop at Home dies, if you were curious. It's this one that I used. Anyway, so we are going to do that. That looks about right. So I am going to mount this here. And put a little bit of glue so it doesn't fall off. We will do it right around there. Okay. And then this one I'll probably mount. So make sure it's the background. So this foam tape is not very thick, so it gives it just a little bit of 3D dimension, right? I don't want it to be too far up. So right around there. So I cut these stars from that Stars Align because I want to cover these little sections here. This fits the A4 by 6 picture. So for this one, I am going to use slightly thicker foam tape. So it's a silver front and then the just a regular navy blue cardstock shadow that I used. Like I said, this one's a little thicker. Okay. We're going to cover that. And then we're going to cover this gap over here. But yet our picture can still slide in here. So I think that is it for this side. I think I had actually these guys I was going to put in here. And I wanted, I had some of those little square foams. There they are. Some of these, tiny little guys. So, and then I'll put one on here and one on here. Press them down. And I'm just going to put them here. Like I said, our frame comes up to here. Here's a Christmas picture, so obviously this one doesn't go here, but there's enough space for the picture to fit in. Okay, so, oh, I need to mount this guy. They look so well there. I thought they were already done. Okay, let's use some. This foam is not the thick one. This is the very thin one. And just push it down. There we go. There. And then for this one, the lid, I wanted to look a little bit further or higher, I guess. So I'm going to mount that with a little bit of a thicker foam to give it more of a 3D look. And we're going to do something like that. Okay, so that's what the first page will look like. Now we're going to do something similar for our second page. Bring it over here. Oh, I forgot my title. See, when you move things around, move them out of the way, they will fall out. I want this to also stick out a little bit, so I'm using the thicker foam. Just when I thought I was done with this page, I guess I am not. Oh, just that little piece here for support. I also have some of these guys. Maybe I'll come back and hang a glove here. I think that'll look cute. Yeah, so let me grab a piece of thin foam. And I will do that before I forget. So we will put it, oh, this one already has adhesive, so. Again, this die is from Anna Griffin's dies, this mitten. There we go. So that is the first page. And for this one, we're going to do something similar. We will put this one down. I guess it doesn't matter which one's. Which one is the front? It has no texture, so this piece of paper can go either way. Why do I feel like I'm not adding anything? There we go. All right, let's see. There we go. And again, we're going to put some glue. And we just eyeball it so it's kind of center, about a 1/4 inch from each of these tips. So it goes down right there. So like I said, here I did, I thought I was only going to do one page and I didn't really think about this. So I have a lot of 6-inch pieces here. So I'm going to use the ones that have the adhesive because it's easier. So all 3 of those are good. And here's the background noise, right? The leftovers, which we use to block out some of the blue from the background there. So I am putting that down here. Some of the leftovers, line it up from the bottom. Here's another leftover. And we'll put right there. And then this last piece, or this piece, yeah, this one has, oh, this is the grass. Okay, so I guess we need to use this piece. And that should, yeah, that should give us enough. So we need about up to this point here. And we cut the excess off. push it back. All right. Now we add our grass. And then we add some more grass. And I think this is going to be extra. And then we have this piece. So I'm just going to end it there. And it doesn't matter if it's overlaps. Okay. So here, here's my stars align. And I don't have that little piece. I didn't keep that because I figured it doesn't really matter. So I think it's going to go here. And then we have our 2 stars that will hide our gap here. And then we have my 2025. And then I did my Cricut journaling with a star. And here what I wanted to do is put my bench. So if I put the bench, that means this guy needs to move higher. So we'll put the bench here, maybe closer this way. We have our little cooler with some drinks. And then we have our 2 hamburgers. And over here some drinks we will mount. And then I also cut from the barbecue set some utensils, and then we'll probably hang this guy from here. I think that's it. I had cut another bench, but I don't think we need that. I think that's where I want everything. So I will start mounting. So the easiest one is start at the top. So I'm going to bring in my page really quick so I can kind of align the title. So it'll be right around here. That's where it goes. Okay, so let's start. I'll start with this guy. This is my little journaling star tag that I did with the Cricut machine. I'm going to put like it at an angle. And then these will take some of that tiny little foam. And it has adhesive at the bottom, so I only really need to apply these little squares to the top. So I'll peel this off. Oh, actually, it's not. Oh, never mind. That white part is the foil, right? So I don't know if we can add we can. We'll add that, and then I don't know that that matters, but I added adhesive to the fork part, and we're attaching that guy here. And then I think this mitten I said we will also hang. So we hang it there. Then let's put our table. This I'm waiting to mount at the very end because this is for, you know, we can't go further on this down, so but we can adjust that some more. So that's why I want to put this one in first. So does it make sense to try to tuck it? I guess so. And then I'm going to use like the very thin foam on that. And I'm going to add a little bit of foam to the seat part. Okay, so let's remove this. Press this down. We'll remove that. And we are going to tuck, I think, here. And I said, yeah, maybe there. Okay. Push that up. Okay, so that's our bench. This guy, we will put a piece of foam tape. A little cooler here, and maybe also a little strip of grass. Okay, so then here's our hamburgers and our drinks. So it looks like the drinks already have some adhesive, but the burgers do not. So put this burger over here. And this one on this end. And then we will take this adhesive off on the bottles. And I have another one. I can't seem to get that. Oh, there it goes. We'll put this guy in front. Okay, so everything is almost all done. So we need to put these down. And I think these we just mounted, so let me mount this one first. So we don't want it touching our bottles. And we put this one next. So this one we just have to touch the stars here. Yeah, we just have to touch the stars there. And this one we did put some of the skinnier foam. Okay, we have an extra mitten there. Okay, so now we're going to mount our stars to hide that gap here. And I use the thicker foam adhesive. I'm going to cover this gap on this side now. Okay. I think that is it. I don't know if we do that one. Make sure nothing falls off. Okay, so there's our 2-page layout for our barbecue. Here it is. Anyway, hopefully, like I say, hopefully this inspires you to do your own cookout layout. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll catch you again next time.